Can everyone please stand?
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to remain standing as members of the Gila Valley Honor Guard present the colors. We then invite you to join us in singing the national anthem. Honor Guard, please. Honored candidates for graduation and distinguished guests. On behalf of the District Governing Board, it is my privilege to welcome you to the commencement ceremony of Eastern Arizona College, culminating its 134th year. We will begin tonight's program with an invocation offered by Sherry Brady, President of the Gila Valley Ministerial Association.
Will you join me in prayer? Almighty God, thank you for your love, risen from the grave and freely offered for us all. Thank you for this special day and for all the students who are assembled here. May they feel a sense of accomplishment in their qualification and great excitement about their future. Come take their skills and fit that we celebrate today. May each student know your presence in their lives and understand how to use their abilities for your glory and kingdom. And may they all continue to live lives of learning and discovery, and in doing so, bring great blessings to this world. Amen.
You may be seated. I wish to recognize dignitaries seated on the stage with me tonight. Mrs. Tina McMaster, member of the District Governing Board. Mr. Jeff Larson, chairman of the District Governing Board. Mr. Rick Mattice, member of the District Governing Board. Mrs. Lois Ann Moody, member, District Governing Board. Commissioner Leah Marquez Peterson, chairwoman of the Arizona Corporation Commission and our guest speaker tonight. Dr. Brad Monteith, the Secretary of the District Governing Board, Mr. Heston Welker, EAC's Vice President of Administration, Dr. Susan Wood, EAC's Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs, Mr. Thomas Thompson, EAC's Chief Information Officer, and Dr. Cindy Devaney-Olvey, President of Eastern Arizona College's Alumni Association. We call your attention to the honor stoles being worn by many members of tonight's graduating class. The gold honor stoles trimmed in purple are worn by those students with the highest grade point average during their attendance at Eastern Arizona College. Also, the gold honor stoles are worn by graduates are members of the EAC chapter of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. We salute all our honor graduates for their accomplishments. To your right are members of EAC's faculty and administrative corps. They are some of the college's most treasured resources. Please join me in acknowledging EAC's professionals, faculty, and staff with a warm round of applause. I'm also pleased to recognize EAC's fantastic music department for its assistance with tonight's commencement activities. Please join me in acknowledging this talented group with a round of applause. In a special commencement tradition at EAC, members of the Eastern Arizona College class of 1972, that's right, 50 years ago, 1972, are celebrating their 50th reunion today. We are honored with their presence. Please, let's give them a warm welcome home. Eastern Arizona College has entered into partnerships with Arizona State University, Grand Canyon University, and Northern Arizona University to offer our students the opportunity to earn baccalaureate degrees without the necessity of leaving the Gila Valley. Because why would you ever want to leave home? We salute them for their accomplishments. Please join with me in giving these candidates a warm round of applause. Each graduation day, Eastern Arizona College celebrates student progress and achievement. We salute our new candidates for graduation and wish each of you continued success throughout your lives. You give us cause for high expectation and hope for our bright future. Tonight, we will award 661 degrees and certificates to 434 students. They come from 14 counties in Arizona, from 14 different states, and from the country of Mexico. We will now hear from Dr. Cindy Olvey, President of the Eastern Arizona College Alumni Association. Following her remarks, we will be favored with a special musical number entitled Curtain Call, performed by the EAC Wind Ensemble under the direction of Mr. Jeff Despain. Vice President Susan Wood will then introduce our student and faculty speakers.
Thank you, President Haney, Chairman Larson, members of the governing board, parents, families, faculty, and staff, greetings. On behalf of the EAC Alumni Association, it is my great pleasure to extend a very special, heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2022. Graduates, this is your night. It's my honor to welcome you as the newest members of the Eastern Arizona College Alumni Association. You're joining an elite community of more than 35,000 engaged and accomplished alumnus from every state in the U.S. and even beyond our borders. I recall a night similar to this when I sat where you're sitting, listening to speakers and waiting for my name to be called for my diploma. That was back in the 1900s, long before many of you were even born. After I graduated from Eastern, I went on to school for many years, but I can tell you that my best years were those I spent at EAC. I made wonderful friendships and memories. I took great classes from faculty who I still remember to this day. I was reflecting, when I went to EA back in the day, some of the words we used then are different and had different meanings than the words we use now. For example, a text was a book made of paper that was required reading for a class and you bought it at the bookstore. A cell was something we studied in Mr. Engel's biology class. And a tablet was something you took when you had a headache, probably after an exam. Even though some things may have changed, other things stay the same. Whether in a classroom, on South Campus, or virtually online, Eastern offers us an incredible opportunity for learning from faculty and from each other. Throughout our lives, the memories and experiences, whether good or challenging, have also given us an opportunity to grow into the people we are becoming. It has been many years since I graduated, but I never lost my ties to Eastern. The EAC Alumni Association is a great way to maintain your connection. As long as we have your mailing address or your email address, you'll receive our newsletter, the Helogram. You'll read about what's happening at the college, what some of your classmates are doing, who got married, and who passed away. In the future, you may hear from us when we sponsor reunions for the class of 2022, just like we did for the class of 2072. And that may sound like a long way off, but it's not that far away, you'll find. We also sponsor specialty reunions like sports or music or drama eras. The Alumni Association also works with the EAC Foundation to award more than 165 scholarships every year. Some of you may have received one of those scholarships. In the future, you may want to consider honoring someone who made a difference for you with a scholarship, or maybe even establishing a scholarship in your own name. I know all of you will be going in different directions after tonight, but throughout your lifetime, please know, you will find fellow EAC alum holding doors open to you and willing to provide their support and assistance. In the meantime, class of 2022, a big congratulations. You've made it. Go forth into this life daringly and audaciously. And no matter where you are, no matter where you go, always remember this. Wait for it. Monsters rule. Go Monsters.
Thank you. That was absolutely wonderful. Lots of fun. I appreciate that. It is an honor for me to introduce this year's speakers for our commencement ceremony. They are Mr. Ian Seifert, representing the graduate class, and faculty representative Dr. Melanie Russell. Ian Seifert served as the president of EAC's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. He is graduating tonight with high honors and an Associate of Science degree in psychology. While attending EAC, Mr. Seifert became a member of the All-Arizona Academic Team and was awarded a scholarship to Northern Arizona University in recognition of his outstanding academic performance and community service. He plans to continue majoring in psychology with the goal of working in the field of behavioral economics. Ian is originally from Scottsdale, but has lived in the Gila Valley for 20 years. He has also lived in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, where he taught English. Ian has traveled in Japan, Southern Africa, Cambodia, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Mexico. We expect great things from this young man in the future as he continues to springboard to higher and loftier goals. Dr. Melanie Russell has been an English professor at Eastern Arizona College since 2007 and an adjunct professor with Arizona State University since 2015. Her family's ties to Eastern Arizona College go all the way back to the institution's beginning. In 1891, when EAC was known as the St. Joseph Stake Academy, her great-grandmother, Sarah Allred Hunt, was one of the school's first students and was later employed as an instructor at the academy in 1894. Born and raised on a small cotton farm here in the Gila Valley, Dr. Russell graduated from Thatcher High School in 1992. She then attended EAC on a music scholarship where she played the quads as part of EAC's drumline. Later, Dr. Russell attended Northern Arizona University, earning both her bachelor's degree in learning and pedagogy and her master's degree in English studies. In 2019, she earned her PhD in English literature from the University of Sheffield in the United Kingdom. Dr. Russell has published papers with the Renaissance Society of America, the academic journal Orbis Literarum, as well as with the University of Sheffield. Any student who has taken a class from Dr. Russell knows that she loves Star Wars, hockey, Las Vegas, Disney, and pugs. She and her husband, EAC professor Dr. Scott Russell, have 10 children, 8 grandchildren, and 4 pugs. We will now hear from our speakers in the order they have been introduced. Please join me in providing them a warm welcome.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm just kind of sitting here and started sitting, and there's a lot of faces out here that I'm not going to get to see again for a very long time, if ever again. So, yeah. I'd like to start by just giving a thank you to all the staff and faculty that have helped us get through this really weird period of history. So let's hear it for them. And of course, to all the students that stuck with it to the end. Let's hear it for them. Now, from here, there's many paths set out before us. Some of us are off to continue our education elsewhere, while others are off to start their careers. But each of us is off to pursue our own little slice of happiness. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's an endeavor worth pursuit. And I'd like to offer a little piece of advice in that pursuit of happiness, and it's this: enjoy more of the little pleasures. Dr. Daniel Gilbert of Harvard has explored the realm of happiness and unearthed a treasure trove of insights on how we can make ourselves happier, most of which should really be no surprise to anybody. Things like spending more time with loved ones, playing games with others, making love, cooking food, eating food, and getting more exercise. Now, there's more and I could go on, but there's also a theme here. It's doing stuff. And what do I mean by doing stuff? What I mean is, we have learned that experiences reliably beat having stuff in terms of making us happier. Now, in fact, you might be able to buy happiness, but even then, it still comes in the form of buying more experiences and not just buying more nice stuff to have. And we're not talking about mindless, inactive activities either. Activities like tedious work, driving, scrolling on phones, listening to the news, and just plain old doing nothing tend to lead to your mind wandering and just leads us to be less happy. The mind wants to be engaged in activity. And who would have guessed that being nice makes you happier? In fact, helping others may be one of the best ways to be happy. Who hasn't felt the joy of bettering the life of someone else, even if only in some small way? Those who do more to contribute to their local community report much more happiness in their lives, and in greater fulfillment too. So maybe, do a little something nice for someone else, even someone you don't know. In fact, many of the best activities you can do are social in nature. And some of the little pleasures are amplified by being enjoyed with others. A meal or a walk with a friend or a significant other can make the experience even better. Humans are indeed social creatures, and we're not very happy if we don't do social human things. And frequent small experiences will beat bigger ones. For example, getting coffee with a friend every Saturday will beat going skydiving a couple times a year in terms of total happiness. And a weekly game night will bring more joy than going to a theme park once a year. So my final point is this. Savor the little joys in life, and don't give up too many little joys in pursuit of the big goals. I wish you all luck in your pursuit of happiness. And remember to do stuff. Thank you very much.
Hello. Recently, I mentioned to one of our sons that I had been asked to speak at commencement, and he said, "So, Mom, which Star Wars quote are you going to work into your speech?" And I told him I didn't think I would use any because I didn't think there was one that was appropriate for this situation. And he said, "Really, Mom? I have a bad feeling about this. Wouldn't it be appropriate for that situation?" And he's right, so I'll say it. I really have a bad feeling about this. To the EAC Governing Board, President Haney, Vice President Wood, members of the administration, and my fellow faculty, thank you for giving me the honor of speaking tonight. An EAC class of 22. Can we talk about how good it feels to not have any homework for once? Right? No papers, no tests, no labs, no clinicals. It's all done. And I can tell you that all of us over here, we're pretty happy about it too because we're done grading all of that stuff. So good feelings all around. I love that. As I look out at all of you, many of whom I have had in my classes. I cannot help but feel so proud of you. And I know I speak for all of the faculty as well. We are so proud of you and everything you have done to get to this moment. And it hasn't always been easy, right? Think about the past couple of years for you, or maybe more than a couple of years. And think about the struggle it was at times. Think about all of the early morning classes when you dragged yourself out of bed to try and make it to class on time, sometimes still in your PJs. Think about the time that you woke up and you had a flat tire and had to figure out a way to get to campus. Think about all the late night astronomy labs, the seemingly endless rounds of clinicals. Think about balancing job and family along with your schoolwork. Think about the time you went to softball practice or fall sing rehearsal, knowing you still had hours and hours of homework to do when you got home that night. Or maybe the time when you crammed for a test at the end of a long band trip. Think about trying to get through college in the middle of a pandemic. Wow. The reason I ask you to think about this is I want you all to understand and appreciate what a big deal it was that through all of this, you all showed up. I know that because you wouldn't be walking across this stage tonight if you hadn't. You showed up even when it was difficult, even when you were tired or bored, even when you were stressed out and didn't know if it was worth it and you could go on. You kept showing up. I saw it. We all saw it. It reminds me of a scene in a movie I saw a long time ago. In 2001, long before he was John Wick, Keanu Reeves starred in a movie, Hardball, in which he played the reluctant coach of an inner-city Little League baseball team. And something he said to those kids always comes to my mind as I watch students struggling to get through the college grind. At the end of the movie, right before he's gathering them all for the big game, right? He gets the team together and he tells them, I want you to take a good look at yourselves today and feel proud. You made it here. You're here. And what I've learned from you is that really one of the most important things in life is showing up. I am blown away by your ability to show up. So, for all the times I saw you in the hallways, in class, at events, or even at Walmart, I could see your struggle. I will echo that statement. I am blown away by your ability to show up. And that's the first thing I would suggest to you tonight. Be proud of yourselves for showing up and keep showing up long after you leave EAC tonight. Academy Award-winning actor and director Woody Allen once said, 80% of success is showing up. Political strategist Ron Nehring has said, the world is run by people who show up. Rudyard Kipling said basically the same thing. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. Author Brené Brown said, sometimes the bravest and most important thing you can do is just show up. Show up messy, show up imperfect, but just keep showing up. The second thing I would suggest tonight is to show gratitude. A little history I'll share about me. I grew up just down the street. My parents were cotton farmers. They also run a crop dusting operation. My dad flew on fires for the BLM and the Forest Service. They had a large apple orchard, and what that looked like for my brothers and me was a lot of long, hot Arizona days in the fields, at the airport, or in the orchard. And I love that I grew up like that. My parents taught me how to work, but they also taught me the value of school. Something my dad loved to do, and he did it a lot. If my brothers were here, they would back me up on this, is when my brothers and I would come in from the field or the orchard or the airport, hot, sweaty, tired. We would collapse into chairs around the kitchen table. And my dad would look at us and smile and say, "You know, kids, if any of you ever decide not to go to college, you will always have a job right here." If my mother ever heard us saying, "If I go to college," she would immediately correct us and say, "No, not if, when you go to college." My dad would at random moments just raise both hands in the air like he was going to conduct a choir, and he would say it with me, children, we must all go to college. And my brothers and I would roll our eyes and smile, say it back, we must all go to college. It was a running theme in our childhood. And big shocker, we all went to college. We all graduated. And the day I defended my doctoral thesis, after it was all over, my husband and I were walking back from the university to our hotel, and it was an amazing feeling, much like I think you are all feeling tonight. And I was thanking my husband at that moment for helping me reach this goal, and I realized that I needed to say thank you to two other people. The two people who taught their little girl from the time she was small that she was smart and she should go to college. Now, we were in England at the time, and it's really, really early in the morning in Arizona, but it didn't matter. So I stood in the middle of a cobblestone street in Sheffield and dialed my parents, and when they picked up, I said, "I just had to say thank you. I would not be here if it was not for you." So I ask you, class of 22, in this wonderful graduation moment, to think about who has helped you get here. Who told you, no, not if you go to college, when. Think about who, in whatever way, put the possibility of a college education in your head and told you that you could do it. And here's what I suggest you do. And this may be the only time I ever tell students to do this while I am talking. Get out your phones. Go on, get them out. Get them out and use them to say thank you. Take a selfie, send a text, a snap, or if you want to do it old school and they're here tonight, find them in the crowd right now and point to them and give them one of these, because they need it, right? That's awesome. If it is someone who is sadly no longer with us, make a plan to pay tribute to them tonight in some way. Whatever you choose, let them know that you know they played a role in your graduating tonight. Be grateful. Finally, the last thing I would share with you tonight is the secret of life. I know, some of you are thinking, okay, Dr. Russell, I sat in your classroom and you taught us about literature and punctuation and formatting, and all this time you had the secret of life in your back pocket? Couldn't have gave it a mention? I'm mentioning it now. In 1991, a great movie came out called City Slickers. Yeah. Funny movie about a bunch of city folks who go to a dude ranch for a couple of weeks to find themselves, right? My favorite character in this movie is Curly, an old cowboy whose job it is to babysit all of these city people. And Curly is played by Academy Award-winning actor Jack Palance. I love Jack Palance, mostly because he is an old cowboy and reminds me of my grandpa. Anyway, at one point in the movie, Jack Palance is riding horseback alongside Billy Crystal. And Crystal is complaining about all of his worries and stresses back home. And Jack Palance suddenly turns to him and says, "You city folk, you spend 50 weeks a year getting knots in your rope, and then you think 2 weeks up here is going to untie them for you. None of you get it. You know what the secret of life is?" Billy Crystal says, "No, what?" Jack Palance says, "This," and he holds up one finger. Billy Crystal says, "Your finger?" And Jack Palance says, "One thing, just one thing. You stick to that, and everything else don't paraphrase, don't mean squat. Everything else don't mean squat. Billy Crystal then says, that's great, but what's the one thing? And Jack Palance says, that's what you got to figure out. Now, some of you are nodding to yourself because you already know what your one thing is. And that's awesome. And some of you are sitting there thinking, oh crap, what's my thing? What's my one thing, right? And it's okay if you don't know yet, but you will. I promise you will. And when you do, stick to that, and it will get you through anything, because everything else don't mean squat. So, for all the times that we were in class together, and I saw the toll the grind was taking on you, and my mom heart wanted to give you a big hug and life advice, but I couldn't because I'm not your mom, so we just talked about Shakespeare or punctuation. This is what I wanted to say. This is what I always wanted to tell you, what I would tell my own kids who might be in the audience with you. Show up. Be grateful. Find your one thing. Congratulations, class of 22. You did it. Thank you for sharing part of your journey with us.
Thank you to Ian and to Dr. Russell. Thank you especially to Dr. Russell for asking the candidates for graduation to text, to wave, and to give a shout out to their parents and family members who encourage them. As you were speaking, I got my shout out via text from my daughter, Olivia, who is among our candidates tonight. I love you too, Olivia. Commissioner Leah Marquez Peterson was elected to the Arizona Corporation Commission in November 2020. Prior to that, she was appointed to the Arizona Corporation Commission by Governor Doug Ducey. With her appointment, she became the first Latina to serve in a statewide office in the state of Arizona. Commissioner Marquez Peterson has been an entrepreneur in Arizona for many years and supports Arizona's small business community and economic development. She served as the president and CEO of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce from 2009 to 2018 and was the executive director of Greater Tucson Leadership from 2005 to 2009. She is currently the president of the National Association of Women Business Owners in Tucson and a member of the National Small Business Development Council Advisory Board for the U.S. Small Business Association. Commissioner Marquez Peterson has been appointed to serve on the Arizona Judicial Council. She also serves on the board for the University of Arizona Foundation and the Pima County Workforce Investment Board. Commissioner Marquez Peterson received her undergraduate degree in marketing and entrepreneurship from the University of Arizona and her Master of Business Administration degree from Pepperdine University. She resides in Tucson and is married with 2 children. It is interesting to note that her roots run deep in eastern Arizona. Her grandparents operated an insurance business here in Safford for decades. I am thrilled to introduce our 2022 commencement speaker, Commissioner Leah Marquez Peterson.
Well, good evening, everybody, and congratulations to each of you today. And congratulations to your family and your support that's here in the audience. Let's give you one more round of applause. It's an honor to speak with you this evening, and as you heard, I'm the chairwoman of the Arizona Corporation Commission, which regulates our utilities, electricity, water, gas, and wastewater throughout our state. And as you also heard, I'm the first Latina to serve in a statewide role in the history of Arizona, which I'm very proud of. Thank you. So I hope to leave you with a few motivating and inspiring thoughts tonight, and I'm going to start by telling you a bit about my own family and my background. My father's family is from Clifton, and he was born in Morenci. My grandparents, Lico and Nelly Marquez, did not work in the mines, though my extended family did. Instead, they owned the small businesses that served the community and the mine workers. How many of your own families have come from the mining industry or farms or ranches or small businesses in this area? Probably many. So much of Arizona is indebted to the historical contributions of these industries. Speaking of small business, my dad tells me stories of getting up at 4 a.m. to work in the tortilla factory that was on Chase Creek in Clifton when he was young. These experiences created a work ethic that led to his success in life and his own business. Maybe you've had a similar experience. My grandparents moved to Safford in 1946 and built the El Ranchito Tortilla Factory at 7th Avenue near Main Street. Being entrepreneurial, my grandpa also owned Fred's Barbershop and a restaurant at 8th Avenue where the Greyhound station is at. They moved to Clifton in 1955 to expand their tortilla distribution business and added Rainbow Bread, Lay's, and Pan Dulce to their delivery trucks. In 1968, my grandparents moved back to Safford and, as you heard, launched Marquez Insurance Agency at 8th Avenue and Canal, which they ran for over 20 years. I recall visiting Safford a lot when growing up in Tucson and learning how my own parents followed in my grandparents' steps by building their Allstate insurance business in Tucson. My father was one of the few Hispanic insurance agents with Allstate in the country and set many top records. He owned his own agency for over 35 years in Tucson before my brother took over. I was also very influenced by my grandmother, Nelly Marquez, though she may not have known it at the time. She grew up at Gutierrez in Clifton and was one of 9 children. She had a limited formal education, but that didn't stop her, and she was the CFO or financial manager of many of our family businesses. When my grandfather passed away in 1994, she continued to run the insurance agency until 1996 on her own. So needless to say, I grew up with salespeople throughout my family. I was taught to speak up, make eye contact, and the importance of a smile. I'm sure it's made me more comfortable with public speaking and talking to strangers over my life. And these family lessons continue to this day. My father recently gave my son the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which he read as a young man. My son, who is 15, is learning this himself, and I recommend the book to all of you. Think of others in your family and what you can learn from them. Each of you here tonight is an achiever. You set a goal and accomplished it regardless of the hurdles in your path. Don't stop being an achiever. You have one chance in life. Take the risk, take the hard road. Now that you've accomplished this goal, consider your personal life plan. Write it down and tell people around you so that they hold you accountable. Always continue learning, whether that's an advanced degree or a certificate or specialized training in your industry. Keep an open mind. You never know where life will take you, and I've embraced the idea of taking risk and keeping an open mind myself. While I was in college, I had a great internship with a department store one summer and thought I'd be working in retail, but received my first job at an oil company. So there I went, down a different path than I expected. Sometimes the paths aren't always easy. My husband took an unpaid internship while he was in college, though he could have used the money. He didn't have a car at the time and took the bus. This calculated risk paid off, though, and when he graduated, he was hired and now runs a healthcare company statewide here in Arizona. As I look out at the crowd, I see a lot of young women here, and we are shattering the glass ceiling in every industry. I look out and I see future CEOs, so don't settle. My mother was a great example to me growing up. She is Latina and from New Mexico. And she was brought up to believe that the role of a woman was a primary caregiver. She stayed home to take care of my brother and I, but when we grew older, she completed her bachelor's degree and founded her own theater company, Catalina Players in Tucson, following her dreams. My daughter Emma is here with me tonight, and I'm so proud she's following her own dreams with my mother as a great example. Emma's pursuing graduate school in anthropology and museum management, and very proud of her. My advice tonight and for the rest of your lives is to look for opportunities, explore, keep an open mind, see new things, consider launching your own business. Build your network and build your network and your new contacts, make new contacts throughout the state. These will be valuable connections in the future. Everyone's path is not the same, and my path included moving away after college with my husband, then coming back to Southern Arizona to launch a business and to raise our family. To say again, life is short and you should seize every opportunity. I love the stories of families throughout America. You just heard from Dr. Russell, who was born on a small farm here in Gila Valley. She went on to study in the UK and now is a leader in higher education. This made me think of a recent trip to the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, northeast of Santa Fe, where my mother's grandfather was born. We visited the remnants of a small adobe house of his family, and my mother's relatives have lived in that part of New Mexico for centuries, long before the United States was even formed. A couple years back, we visited a small Lutheran church in rural Wisconsin, near the farm where my husband's grandfather was born, after his family immigrated from Norway in 1904. Now look at us, in this great nation, forged by those who came before us, those who worked hard to secure the liberties and opportunities that we have today. So many of us have a story like this one, origins from small towns, from small farms, or running a small business. You should be proud, like I am, of one of the families that built our country. Make them proud, and let me say again, don't settle. Keep striving and believe in yourself, and leave your own legacy for Arizona. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Marquez Peterson. We really appreciate hearing your inspiring story and your family history. It truly is inspirational to me and to us. Thank you. We consider you a true friend of EAC, and we really do appreciate your words here tonight. Vice President Heston Welker will now present the class of 2022 to the Chairman of the District Governing Board, Mr. Jeff Larson.
Chairman Larson, I hereby present the candidates to receive the associate degree. I also recognize the candidates for certificates in the graduates of the Arizona State University and Eastern Arizona College concurrent bachelor degree programs.
President Haney, members of the District Governing Board, candidates for graduation, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and privilege to accept the Eastern Arizona College class of 2022. The board, by virtue of the authority vested in it by law and on recommendation by the college faculty, does hereby accept candidates for the associate degree and does recognize those earning certificates and bachelor's degrees from the Eastern Arizona College and Arizona State University concurrent degree programs.
Celeste Gabrielle Jaquez. Tatum Marie Hawkins. Rhett Hawkins. Daisy May Sism. Ian Seifert. Benjamin Samuel Ginnett. Brett Ashley Moats. Ashley Taylor Clement. Dallin J. Kime.
McKenna Serene Parnell. Naomi Park. Kristen Miranda Flatt. Austin Haley Hogel. Amy Marie Nilsson. Morgan Miller. Hannah Dawn Estrada. Lindsay Hatch. KL Sky Estes.
Amber Lynette Lunt. Hannah Jean Hinton. Andy Janae Johnson. Andrea Lynn Boyer. Chastity Griffith. Carly Mackenzie Celine. Trent Josh Begay. Norasia Mei-Ling Fielding. Casey Ruth Richens.
Ileana Ray Cook. Destiny Cheyenne Driver. Sage Lee Romero. Daniel Boyd Smeltkop. Dylan James Durrell. Jacob Ryan Urea. Bailey Sage Long. Danielle Anisette Figueroa.
Sydney Marie Robbins. Marissa Launer. Alyssa Allred. Amanda Marie McCullen-Teehee. Alexa M. Contreras. Adamaris Hernandez Valdez.
Riley Andrew French. Michaela Ann Provencio. Dylan Coy Crum. Angelina Elena Reyes. Lucy Vargas. Viviana Mendez Draper. Zanaya D. Cortez. Gabriel Rodrigo Yanez.
David Jr. Marquez. Enelia Maldonado. Destiny M. Dion. Kaylee Leanne Joe. Kaylee Kelsey Mitchell. Morgan Dawn Blackman. Christiana Josephine Nebor. Kenneth Ray Gowan. Suzette A. Ramirez.
Tiana Tommy. Denise Loren Crum. Gage Dean Brown. Riley Efros. Chelsea Jade Casillas. Celine R. Berabe. Ileana Cazares. Kristen Nicole Tavison. Maya Chacon. Juliana Jean Forgash Aguilar. Devani Ray Medina.
Denasia Brandy Massey. Author Lawrence Halbeck. Madison Palmer. Kylie Jane Goodman. Olivia Grace Haney. Leah Lucy Chatton. David Dwayne Burnett. Gabriel Francisco Romero. Alyssa Marie Alvarado. Dakota Amber Ibarra.
Delaney Christine Claridge. Temperance Rose Calloway. Caitlin Marie Lunt. Terilyn Kylie Nielsen. Aaron Evans Beavers. Bridie Lynn Black. David Ariano. Miguel Cepeda Gallegos. Ariana Chantel Valenzuela. Catherine F. Bejarano. Cameron Deshay Norman. Trinette Begay.
John D. Lunt. Manuel Rodi Aparicio. Jessica Taylor Martinez. Cameron Lee Mack. Ileana Gabriela Chavez. Matthew Garcia. Sean Andrew Hudman. Rochelle Debbie De Leon. Skylar Kathleen Karchner. Alexis Nicole McKinney. Jaden Marie Dillman.
Rochelle Farnsworth. Caitlin Elise Pugh. Chloe Jerica Areen. Jordan Alexis Perez. Riley Kanae Skinner. Stephen Jenner. Rachel Marie Jones. Brenley Nicole Bryce. Julie Marie Doherty. Barbara Joyce Doherty. Emma Lee Palmer. Natalia Raquel Lomoma.
Jaden Steve Preston. Leah Kylan Walker. Richard C. Campbell. Helaman R. Gile. Brian James Bilisic. Alec J. Judd. Noemi Valle. Omar Curiel Miramontes. Amber Clement. Cute, huh? Taylor Bailey Fields. Callie McHale Pugh.
Ashley Taylor Kaysen. Joel May. Nicole Tara Stevens. Anthony Dwayne Jr. Millie Carissa Mirror. Emmett Trey Younger. Brooklyn Raquel Gabidas. Brianna Ray Gannett. Gregorio Lopez Bustos. Matthew Josiah Vasquez. April Lynn Victor. Christina Angel Batam.
Brianna Arleni Duran. Taylor Jade Miller. Matt Lundo Glenn Stoffer. Keisha Emmy Griffin. Vanessa Abril. Krista Dominique Yazi. Kiara Justine Wright. Elena D. Miller. Leticia Marie Osborne.
Sienna Joy Griffin. Paola Palafox. Jessica Lillian Paz. Kinsey Loren Heslop. Taryn Rose Anderson. Ray Anna Etsity. Ronnie Lee Crow. Natana L. Donna. Tammy L. Mayhew. Jacob W. Porter. Jose Manuel Lopez. Melissa Larson. Samuel B. Peterson. Nicole Brooke Bowles.
Alejandro Ray Benally, Jr. Matthew Jake Jones. Haley Hunter Page Leba. Addison Lynn Greer. Lucy Pearl Hancock. Priscilla Grace Pejarano. Taylor Elise Wilson. Hannah Thomas.
Cody Andrew Hines. Anthony Dion Carrasco. Desiree Nicole Romero. Celeste Hawkins. Angel Manuel Quintana. Joshua Dixon. Matthew James Terry. Alyssa Terry. Zachary Thomas Terry. Lane Dallin Smith. David Lundgren Young.
Kelsey Jean Hunt. Destiny Monique Alcorta. Reina Veronica Escovill. Tobin Hackett. Ajay Yokum. Alexis Journey Newman. Edward Andrew Flores. Aaron M. Ford. Richard Ryan Pavis. Ezra Ismael Medina.
Corey Philip Farr. Bradley Aaron Batista. Jerem Royce Larson. Caitlin Mackenzie Hatch. Taylor Marie Roten. Oliver D. Nicholas. Rachel Suzanne Waite. Megan Michelle Platt. Brianna Marie Apodaca. Lorraine N. Estrada. Heidi Lynn Shiflett. Lynette.
Jeremy Pompeo. Evan W. McIntosh. Evelyn J. Romero. Anna Marie Leek. Aldo Molinar. Joshua Curtis Fuel. Daniela Linford. Devin Chase. Julie Lunt. Sherry Burnett. Mindy Marshall.
We now invite you to please rise for the Eastern Arizona College alma mater that will be performed by the EAC Wind Ensemble. The words are printed on the back of your programs. We invite you to join in singing with us. On behalf of those of us at Eastern Arizona College, we thank you for your attendance this evening in support of these amazing graduates as they have reached this milestone in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, as I was getting ready for tonight's ceremony, I had dressed up in my regalia, in my gown, in my house, and my youngest daughter, Sophia, 14 years old, looked at me and said, "Dad, You look like a sorcerer. She then took a few pictures of me. I'm sure they are on Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, somewhere, somehow. If I were a sorcerer, I would offer or cast a spell wishing you success and happiness. I am not a sorcerer, so I must just wish that for you and offer you my blessing, that this will be a night of tremendous celebration and that your future will be successful in every way. On this Friday the 13th, let us think of this day as a day of fortune for you, our graduates, and now alumni of Eastern Arizona College. As you leave this field tonight, some of you, perhaps for the last time, may you look forward to your futures with hope and not fear, with enthusiasm and not despair. May you always remember your foundations at EAC and all those who have boosted you along the way. And now it's time to celebrate. Please travel safely to your destinations tonight. Don't forget us. And as always, go Monsters. Thank you.
We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Come on and celebrate tonight. 'Cause everything's gonna be alright. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times, come on.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop. Skip it. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Before we leave, let me tell y'all a little something. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you sunset and flown it. If you freak dead and own it. Don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you sunset and flown it.